going to do our 7 box for this example.
Okay.
Right, so the first thing you want to do is get comfortable with the 7 box, right? Just to get it under your fingers, which is one of the reasons I picked this one. It's really easy to kind of remember quickly. You know, it's just 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4 fingering.
Right.
Okay. Next thing is you put on the track and first thing to do is count with it. The reason we want to count is we want to put kind of like a time stamp on what we're listening to. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... Now, you familiar with those rhythmic syllables that I was just using?
Not the last set.
That's 16th notes.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, 1 E and So the 1 and 2 and are 8th notes, right?
Right.
So to get 16ths, what you do is you stick an E between the downbeat and the and then you stick a syllable between the and the next downbeat. Okay. So you're dividing the again in half.
Right.
That make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the syllables for quarter notes 1, 2, 3, 4. The syllables for 8th notes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the syllables for 16ths 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and.
Okay. 1 E and 2 E and.
Now, getting comfortable counting out loud while you're playing is an enormous asset as far as being a very valuable commodity in your toolbox for practicing. And using the voice is something I recommend getting used to while you're playing. Let it be something that you're comfortable with, especially counting out loud. Because this is how you're going to line stuff up and figure out bass lines and stuff and be able to, like, you're going to have a grid. Basically, you put notes in. A mental grid. So you're going to use this count to help you with that. So as silly as it may sound, practice counting because it's going to be your best friend.
Okay.
All right. Plus, as you listen to that track, you're going to know where 1 is. You're going to know where you are within each measure. Right? You're going to have reference points that you're used to, you know, as far as what you're listening to, and you're just mentally going to know where you are. You're going to have it from a different perspective. All right? So practice counting with the track. The next thing you do is we practice the box with the track, with quarter notes, 8th notes, and 16ths to get used to our rhythm lock with the track. Now, if you need to slow it down more than 70% for the 16ths to be comfortable, put it to wherever it's comfortable. Speed is not really an issue here. Accuracy is.
Okay.
So I'll play through what I'm talking about. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up and down like that.
Yeah.
Can you hear everything clearly?
Yeah.
All right, next 8 notes. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 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 and 2 and etc. Notice I'm repeating the top and bottom notes to reverse direction.
Okay.
Next 16ths. 2, 3, 4, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and 40 and 20 and 30 and 30 and 40 and 30. Any questions on any of that? It's just kind of getting yourself locked in with the track, technically.
Right.
Right? Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to basically come up with a small group of rhythmic notes and then put, or rhythm patterns, and put notes to these rhythms. Okay? So come up with a short rhythmic cell with your voice. Just kind of make up something. An example would be 2, 3, 4. Ba da ba. Ba da ba. Da da ba. Right? Now I'm going to put notes of the box to that rhythm. And I'm just going to mix them up. 2, 3, 4. All right, so basically what I did is I came up with a theme or the point of what I'm talking about here. And you want to look at, developing melodic ideas in a soloing context, a lot like character development in a movie or the point of a conversation. So like if you're driving and you saw like a fender bender or something, and then, later on you're talking with somebody and says, yeah, man, I saw this wreck today. Yeah, what happened? Now, yeah, when you say, man, I saw this wreck today, that could be da-da-da. That's I saw this wreck today. And then, yeah, what happened? You go and talk about it. Now, I'm just using the notes of that box, right?
Now, are you using them in the same order that they're listed on
No,
there?
no. You can mix them up any way you want.
Okay.
The order that you practice them in is simply a way for you to catalog and index this information.
Okay.
Then when you play with them, you mix them up any which way you want to. You find something that sounds good, but just restrict your choices to those notes.
Okay.
So you got, now it's time to turn on the creativity. Right? You got these tools. All those notes are going to sound good. The only one that's not going to be really good to land on is the 4. Because we talked about how that's one of the tension notes, right?
Right.
But 4 will lead to 3 good. So if you want to like use that, so I went 2, 3, 4, 3. Four, 3, right? Or 4, 3, 4, 3. Those are just notes of the box that I'm just mixing up in different order.
Okay.
And so it's going to feel a little bit strange when you do this, and you're not going to be sure if you're doing it right, and you're going to kind of like, so, but don't worry about it. That's a natural part of this.
Okay.
Until you kind of get used to it a little bit. But sooner or later you just got to dive in with this stuff and go. All right, so it's about, you have these things in this box, and so you're pulling them out and you're trying to be creative with these sounds.
Gotcha.
So what I'm trying to do here is guide you in a process to help make the organization and getting used to this a little bit easier, following these steps. So if you say, well, I don't know what to play, well, then come up with a little rhythm and put notes to that rhythm. And then you're going to get bored with that. You're going to go da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. You're going to, okay. All right, it's going to get boring really quickly. Right? So what do you do next? What you want to do is start developing that idea. And by develop, what you do is you slightly alter note choice and rhythm, keeping a relationship to this basic idea here. So that as I'm listening to you play, I can tell you're still talking about this guy. So it's a lot of repetition. Like you might like go ba-da-ba, and then answer it, ba-ba-ba-da, then do it again, da-da-da, answer it again, da-da-da-da. It creates a symmetry, a balance, call, response kind of thing, that has continuity and keeps interest for the listener.